Right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, welcome to today's sales here at Romford Stadium. Just to let you know the alterations for today's sales card. In trial 4, Rapido Spy has been withdrawn in season on the day. So trial 4 will now be a solo for Rapido Stan. In trial 6, both of the Kennedy runners, Epic Command and Good Chloe, didn't travel. But we'll have trial 6 as the reserve greyhounds coming in here. Reserve A, Bathway Storm, will run from trap 2. And in trap 4 now, we've got reserve J, Yahoo Ian. So trial 6, no Epic Command, no Good Chloe. Reserve A, Bathway Storm in trap 2. And reserve J, Yahoo Ian in trap 4. Trial 9, lot 17, the little one has been withdrawn in season. So that trial will be a solo for Take Your Tea. And the final alteration is in trial 13, where Good Jasmine has been withdrawn from the sale. Lot 26 isn't here. Amazing Dash will move into trap 5. And a reserve greyhound, reserve C, Good Crafty, will run from trap 2 in trial 13. So that's the alterations. We'll announce those as we go along, just to remind you as well. The trials will start very, very shortly indeed. Stone Park Shine's come bolting out of the boxes and is clear into the first turn. Cuts across on the corner as well, just running off there. In behind was the 2 Susie. We go into the penultimate turn now. A 3-length leader is Stone Park Shine from Stone Park Susie, again showing signs of greenness here at Romford, but sticking on well in the closing stages, it has to be said, and keeping on well round to the pickup as well. Good trial to open up proceedings here at Romford. And result trial won its first track 5. Stone Park Shine won in 25.04 and beat Stone Park Susie by a length and 3/4. That one clocked at 25.18. And the sectors there, Susie did a 4.09, Stone Park Shine did 3.94.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. So the next trial is trial 2. We've got track 2, Chink of Night, which is set at 1 start. It's Jan 24 pup. Trial from Mel. Mustang Rocket had a bit more experience in some really smart performances.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try it in here so it's any better.
Experience you might, because
I do, yeah, I do.
I can stand back a little bit. What's it do with just cutting that?
Just this. It was fine before.
Yeah, my fault.
Maybe. That's fine. I can stay here and do it.
And away we go to a fairly level break. And rushing into the turn up on the inside now, Miami Mission. Just runs off a true line though, and just took the ground of Miami Eagle at the initial turn. And down the back straight, again steering a middle course, Miami Mission. Is around about 2 lengths clear from Eagle in behind. Just run off again, Miami Mission. Wants to be drawn much wider than this. And up towards the line, just faltered there. Might have cramped a little bit on the run for home, I fancy. Sorry, what was the sectionals? 409. Do you pick that up, James, yeah? Hair runs in. And away we go. Steering a middle to wide course. is Rapido Stan. Takes the first bend very nicely indeed. And down the far side, almost middle down the far side, reaches the third turn. And again, running the bends pretty well, you have to say, for an inexperienced youngster. And galloping on all the way to the line for a satisfactory trial. Around about the 24.60 mark, we'll get that confirmed. And the time for Rapido Stan was 24.56, 24.56, and the section was 4 dead, 4.00. So the next trial is trial 5, and we've got Sporting Wolf in trap 2. This is lot 9 in the catalogue. Jan 24, son of Grangeview 10 out of Ballymac Saga. Now, nicely bred greyhound, Ballymac Saga being the 2019 English Oaks finalist. And he's also a big lad. Tips the scales at 37.2. Sporting Racket is in trap 4. And he is Grangeview 10 Ballymac Saga, a brother, Jan 24. So both of these from the Jerry Griffin kennels. And walking towards the boxes then for trial 5. Dogs going in then for trial 5, Sporting Wolf in 2, Sporting Racket in trap 4, both Jan 24, both sons of Grangeview 10 out of Ballymac Saga. Hare is now on the move for trial 5. And away we go. Slightly favoured Sporting Wolf coming out the boxes and now showing the better early dash into the turn. Sporting Wolf already 4 or 5 lengths clear coming out of the second bend and railing nicely into the third turn, and still around about 6 lengths, you'd have to say, to the good of his brother Sporting Racket. You can't go with the gallop. Nice performances from Sporting Wolf. Up towards the line, wins it by a good 5 or 6 lengths, you'd have to say, and maintaining that gallop all the way around to the drop. And there's also trial 5, first trap 2, Sporting Wolf, one in 25.02, and beat Sporting Racket by 6 1/4 lengths. The sectionals there were 4:05 and 4:27. And there'll be a tractor break. Just line up the alteration to trial 6 before we had this pause in proceedings while the track is regraded. Trial 6, Epic Command, lot 11, and Good Chloe, the sister, not here, lot 12. They were withdrawn from the sale. And we've now got reserve A, Bathway Storm, who's a Jan 24 puppy, in track 2. And in track 4, we've got reserve J, Yahoo Ian, who is an April 24 youngster. So that will be trial 6 after this tractor break. So just looking back through the first 5 trials, and the fastest time, and a decent time as well, was lot 4 Mustang Rocket. A bit more experience, but then he did have those 2 nice wins in Dundalk in S1 and SO company. 21.15 was the last of those. He clocked a 24.24 today when showing great pace in trial 2. A notable performance from Rapido Stan, who was wide in his course throughout, and only an April 24 Grangeview 10 Chelms Ramona, well, with no marks officially on his card. 24.56, very nice run. A Miami Eagle was gifted the race on the running when Miami Mission actually cramped, it appeared, on the run for home, but still clocked a 24.86. So some decent performances so far in the early part of our card. So I'd just like to have a little bit of an update while we've got this pause in proceedings while the track is regraded. Just to let you know, in the first 2 trials there wasn't any video, which was due to a technical problem. But in the first trial, Stone Park Shine flew out the boxes and did a 3.94 sectional. So a real good start, and quickly raced into an early lead. I have to say also that Stone Park Susie in behind ran off on the turn, so she was kind of showing signs of inexperience in behind Stone Park Shine, and she kind of missed the kick as well, but she kept running off on the turn, so she was very, very green. She left plenty on the track, and in the end she only got beat a length and 3/4, so it's a point to make for her merits there. And in the second trial, well, catapulting out the boxes was Mustang Rocket, a 3.84 sectional. And we already mentioned he's won his last 2 at Dundalk, and he ran the track here at Romford pretty well, it has to be said. 24.24 over track and trip today. And Chink of Night completely missed the kick and kind of got a little bit lost in behind. Obviously, she is that little bit more inexperienced with just 1 trial mark on her card at Clonmel. Jan 24 puppy, and was rather put to the sword by Mustang Rocket in trial 2. So that kind of just catches up the flavour of what happened in the first 2 trials. And apologies again because we had a technical error and couldn't show the videos. So the track has been regraded and the bends have been watered as well as the greyhounds come out onto parade 4, trial 6, which is now Reserve A, Bathway Storms, Jan 24 youngster, Magical Bow Swanley Chick, who was in the 2020 Irish Oaks final. Nicely bred greyhound, then Bathway Storm coming in as a substitute here, Reserve A in trap 2. And in 4, we've got Yahoo Ian from that. Droopy's got it. Yahoo Luna, April 24 litter. Got some comrades on the card here. Droopy's got it, who's a nicely bred son of Tullamarine Act. Some nice greyhounds from previous litters. Radical Hero, who reached the final of the Produce Stakes back in 2022. So very good breeding here. Droopy's got it, as we know, was in the 2022 Juvenile Derby, won by Clonajou. He was runner-up there. And of course, the Juvenile Derby kicks off tomorrow night at Shelbourne for this year's edition. Stand by then. Bathway Storm in 2, Yahoo Ian in 4. And away we go to a level break, and it's the better early dash up into the first turn from Bathway Storm, who grabs the lead there. About 2.5 lengths clear, maybe 3.5 at the halfway stage. He's going great guns now into the third turn and setting up a 4 or 5 length lead now. Bathway Storm from Yahoo Ian, who can't quite live with the pace shown by the blue jacketed runner, who's going to go on and score very, very nicely indeed. Still unfurnished, the winner, but still a nice effort. Result of trial 6 was first trap 2, the Reserve A, Bathway Storm in a 25.05, and beat Yahoo in by 7 lengths. Sectionals 3.97 and 4.08. The next trial on your card today is trial 7, Miss Monaco, with a bit of experience. Lot 13 in trap 2, and trap 5 is Agadown Mist. Miss Monaco, a July 23 bitch, won an A8 at Waterford in a 29.95, and improved on that in a trial round Cork, doing about an A4 time in a 29.43. Agadown Mist, just the 2 trials on the card. It's daughter of Good Cody. She clocked a 29.57, so a sort of similar run around Cork as well for out next. Hare runs in for trial 7. And away we go. Again, level is short of break. Better early dash up on the inside. Just moving off a true line. Miss Monaco goes round in front. Miss Monaco then by around about 3 lengths at the halfway stage from Agadown Mist. Into the third turn, Miss Monaco 3 or 4 lengths clear now from Agadown Mist. And as they traverse off the final turn and up towards the judge, Galloping on well in the lead is Miss Monaco to score quite nicely from the less experienced Agadown Mist back in second. And result of trial 7 there was first trap 2 Miss Monaco, who won the trial in 24.76 and beat Agadown Mist by 5 lengths. Sectorals there were 391 and 396. So the next trial is trial 8, and we have Yahoo Maeve, lot 15 in trap 2 from the Shayna Gorman kennels. An April 24 daughter of Koblenz, who won the Melbourne Cup in 2021, getting a $500,000 Australian dollars in the process. So a nice pacey dog. And Yahoo Diva, who's well proven in the breeding ranks and has proved to be successful with Yahoo Maisie, who was the 2024 English Puppy Oaks champion and sold for $4,000 at the corresponding sale here at Romford last year. Violet Freya is from the Droopy's Got It Yahoo Luna litter, again April 24 litter. As we mentioned, Droopy's Got It was in the Juvenile Derby at Shelbourne in 2022 and runner-up behind Clona Duke. Nicely bred pair then. Let's see what happens in trial 8. Here approaches. Gates lift off and racing and bombing out the boxes is Violet Freya to grab the initial lead into the turn and has about a length and a half advantage now and kicking on out of the second bend. It's Violet Freya from Yahoo Meave into the third turn now with around about a 3.5 length lead. Violet Freya is now kicking on, coming off the last turn and up towards the line, has galloped on really nicely. Railing well in behind was Yahoo Meave, but she never really got into the contest, and she's now starting to stay on somewhat round to the drop. Very green in behind. Good effort from Violet Freya. Result of trial 8 was first track 4 Violet Freya, who clocked 24.89 and beat Yahoo Meve by 3 3/4 lengths. Now the sectionals were pretty good, 3.87 for Yahoo Meve, but the fastest of the day is Violet Freya with a 3.79 split, showing decent starting ability, but that zip of early turn into the initial bend there was for all to see. Good performances from the pair of those pups. The next trial is trial 9, and as advised already, track 3, the little one, was withdrawn in season by the vet here at Romford this morning. So Take Your Tea will trial on her own here as lot 18 in trial 9. Take Your Tea is an unraced March 24 bitch by Caldovani Hoffer out of Newham Peaches. There runs, traps rise, and from trap 6, Take Your Tea just edges in a little bit, dashes into the turn, and the cuts across on the corners as well. Nice track craft there down the back straight. Looks like she's motoring into the third turn. Take Your Tea with that nice New In Peaches breeding, a sister to New In Session, and across the line records around about a 25.40 something. We'll get that officially confirmed. Official time then for Take Your Tea was 25.42, and the sector there was 4.09, so a sloppy break from Take Your Tea, open to any amount of improvement, that youngster. Next trial is trial 10. Trap 2 is Easy Anna, lot 19, who's daughter of Pestana out of Nemesis, an April 24 puppy. And Nemesis was an open class winner on the track, and she reached the final of the Oaks back in 2020. So nicely bred from the Barrier Rocks range. And Faces and Places is an April 24 son of Ballymac Anton out of Ballymac Not You, who of course was open class herself in her own right, and she's produced plenty of posy open class pups in her previous litters. So a couple of nice youngsters here to go to war with in trial 10. Easy Anna in 2, Faces and Places in 5. They're going towards the traps now. It runs then. And away we go. Got stuck in the traps there, Faces and Places, and the better break was from Easy Anna, who dashes into a 4 or 5 length lead already. And she was on the back foot from the word go. Coming out of the second bend was Faces and Places, and into the third turn now, Easy Anna, building up a healthy 8 length advantage, swinging for home now. Blue jacket of Easy Anna goes on to score, running down the centre of the track by a good 6 or 7 legs in the end. Nice performance from Easy Anna. So the result of trial 10 was first trap 2 Easy Anna in all the way fashion in 24.72, 24.72, and beat Faces and Places, who completely missed the kick by 8 1/4 lengths. Easy Anna clocked a 390 sectional over the line first time, and Faces and Places much slower at 4.23. Now be a break while the track is regraded. Also the hoses will come out and a bit of hand watering going on. Just looking back through the second session, fastest of the second session was that Easy Anna, who got to the front pretty quickly and railed nicely, just spun off a little bit on occasions. 24.72, 24.76 for Miss Monaco, just half a length behind that rival. She won trial 7. And a nice trial 8, nicely bred youngsters, Violet Freya, with that fastest sectional, blasting for the boxes to 3.79 in trial 8. So the greyhounds are coming out onto parade for our next trial. This is trial 11. The track has been regraded and a bit of sprinkling of water as well. Track 3 is Droopy's Tiffany here, lot 21. She's a white and blue daughter of New in Session out of Droopy's Thelma. And looks an exciting prospect. And also in trap 6, Droopy's Flourish, who is lot 22, daughter of Malachi out of Droopy's Cuckoo, March 24, so very young indeed. And Cuckoo is well-proven producer of open race and competition class performers in the past, so let's hope that this Droopy's Flourish can turn out to be yet another. As the greyhounds make their way to the boxes, and the loading up process is now underway for trial 11 here. Here runs. And away we go. And Droopy's Tiffany is the first to show from the traps and races into the first pen. Just glances the inside running rail there. And still has a 3-length lead coming out the second turn. And down the far side, Droopy's Tiffany from Droopy's Flourish, who's around about 4 lengths behind at the third turn. Just lost her bearings a little bit in behind the striped jacket runner as well, as Droopy's Tiffany is going great guns, much more the finished article than the greenness of Droopy's Flourish in behind. But still, nevertheless, they both trialled well in trial 11. And the result of trial 11 was first track 3, Droopy's Tiffany, who won in a 24.37. 24.37. Nice run from such a young, inexperienced greyhound. She won the trial by 7 1/4 and beat Droopy's Flourish, who just looked a little bit green in behind. The sectionals there were 3.85 and 4.02. And the next trial is trial 12. Trap 2 is Dumbold Moon. No marks on the card for this one. White and Brindle, daughter of Explosive Boy out of Where Am I? November 23 pup. And Dam, an open class performer from the maiden litter to Magical Bale. So could be of interest here. Dumbold Express is a brother. So 2 youngsters, no marks on their card for trial 12. So the dogs at the boxes then for trial 12. Lot 23, Dumbold Moon. White and Brindle, daughter of Explosive Boy, and Dumbolg Express, a black brother, from the same litter out of Where Am I? November 23, this pet. Her approaches, and we're away. And it's the 5, the first to show, Dumbolg Express, the brother into the turn. Just chops across there. His sister didn't do her any favours at all, but he raced the bend nicely and has a 2-length lead at the halfway stage. And into the third turn now. It's Dumbolg Express from Dumbolg Moon, who's now looking to challenge on the outer, coming off the last turn and up towards the line. 5 hangs on by a couple in the end from his sister. Express beats Moon and gallops all the way around to the drop in trial 12. Result trial 12 was first track 5, Dumbolg Express, who won in 24.92, 24.92, and beat Dumbolg Moon by 2 1/4 lengths. Sections were 4.19 and 4.11 for the winner of the trial. So the next trial is trial 13. There is an alteration to this trial now. Good Yasmin has been withdrawn, and Amazing Dash now moves from trap 2 to 5. So we'll wear the orange jacket in the next, and the reserve will wear the blue jacket. Reserve C is Good Crafty. So Good Crafty is an unraced January 24 daughter of Good Cody out of Cocky or Confident, who we've already seen from previous offspring from that dam line. Crafty Kokoro, who's a bit of a superstar out in Ireland. So nicely bred is this Reserve C, Good Crafty. And Amazing Dash, who's an unraced son of Serene Ace, who rather stumbled leaving the boxes, mind you. And it's left for Amazing Dash to crack on down the far side by around about 5 lengths from Good Crafty, who just completely fluffed the start. But he's still trying to pick up, to be fair to Good Crafty, coming off the last turn. And he's closing the gap up towards the line to a respectable 2 lengths. And let's watch them now around to the drop. She's not got a lot of room there around the last 2 turns, but she's got up inside and she's kept on really well to the drop after almost stumbling and coming out scoot whiff at the start there. So the results of trial 13 was first track 5, Amazing Dash, who won in 24.69, 24.69, and beat the reserve Good Crafty by a length and a quarter in the end, a fast diminishing a length and a quarter, as we said. And the sexuals were 4.30 for Good Crafty and 393 for Amazing Dash. So the next trial coming out onto parade is trial 14, Sporting Theo. His own raced Jan 24 pup from Grangeview 10, Ballymac Saga litter. We've already mentioned that Ballymac Saga was a finalist in the English Oaks in 2019 and a proven producer of top class offspring. But no marks on the card for this lad, Fawn son of Grangeview 10. Whereas Hearts Above, his rival in box 4, lot 28, has had a fair bit of experience. She's a July 23, 2 years of age, and been running in graded races at Waterford. Hey, Runsen. And away we go. And Hearts Above is the first to show leaving the boxes. But pacing up on the inside now is the youngster, showing signs of greenness, but he's got his way to the front now, coming out the second bend and raced into a 2.5 length lead at the halfway stage. Going great guns into the third. This fawn puppy, Sporting Theo, has kicked on here and gone on about his business in superb fashion, railing nicely and going on to score by around about 5 lengths in the end from Hearts Above for trial 14. So the trial 14 was first trap 2, Sporting Theo. Time there was 25.08, and he won by 4 3/4 lengths. Sexuals, Theo did a 4.11, and Hearts Above did a 4.07. The next trial is trial 15. In trap 2, we have Romantic Romeo, and trap 5, Dark Rosa. Romantic Romeo is a Jan 24 son of I'll Not Be Back. JT Chader and I'll Not Be Back. I'll Not Be Back, I believe, was trained by Paul Hennessy. Track record over at Cork. Posted a 29.12, which is an A3 time and an A8 at Cork recently, so won really nicely in a decent time. Dark Rosa, she's a July 23 bitch, and she had 3 races earlier in the year, but she's just had a few trials, and she's gone forward quite quickly after starting off life in A8. She's recorded a a 29.40 at court, which would kind of put her in A4 at this stage now of her career. So she could be improving, Dark Russell. We'll see. Trial 15. How runs then? Romantic Romeo in 2, Dark Russell in 5. And away we go. 2 moves off there, just bumps into Dark Russell on the run to the turn, but shows the better early pace and quickens on now. Steering a middle course down the far side, Romantic Romeo is showing exceptional pace into the 3rd turn. Dark Rosa just can't quite go the gallop. Romantic Romeo is well clear up towards the line, wins it stylishly by 5 or 6 lengths. Romantic Romeo then wins trial 15. Results trial 15 was first trap to Romantic Romeo, winning in a 24.42. He won the trial, beating Doc Rossa by 6 1/4 lengths. The sector was there 391 for Romeo, 397 for Rosa. There will now be a break while the track is regraded. So whilst the tractor's going around there for this tractor break, just looking at the third session here at Romford. Droopy's Tiffany was certainly an eye catcher on the eye and also on the clock. 24:37 for her first official line of form here at Romford was very, very impressive indeed. And a 3:85 split tells you that she's flying into the first bend. That was the second fastest time of the day. The last trial actually was quite a good trial as well. Romantic Robo, he showed a lot of pace down the far side, and he definitely kissed Dark Rosa goodbye from 2 to 3. So that was another one to probably take out of the session here. And of course, Good Crafty. Everyone saw that one stumble and skew at the start and railed nicely and stayed on really well. Got the deficit down to about a length and a quarter after being 5 behind at one stage, and then race round to the front at the pickup. So plenty to like in the third session here at Romford, and there's plenty more to come. So the greyhounds are out on parade then for our next session of 5 trials. We've had a tractor break and the bends have been watered. So trial 16 is in trap 2, Yahoo Elsie, lot 31. She's by Droopy's Got It out of Yahoo Luna. And Yahoo Luna in her first litter produced the exciting new in Noddy, who landed a maiden open down at Hove recently. And Yahoo Cleo is an April 24 daughter of Koblenz. We mentioned he won the Australian Cup earlier, and he's a son of Fernando Bale out of Hubbil Gill, David Gill's breeding. He was an aeroplane. Fernando Bale won everything in Australia. And from Yahoo Diva's first litter, some lucky punter bought her for 4,000 here at the previous corresponding sales last year, and she went on and won the Puppy Oaks here. So I wonder if we could get similar performances from Yahoo Cleo. Certainly Yahoo Elsie should be a decent trial from the Shane O'Gorman setup. Hair runs then. And away and racing to a level break and into the turn 2. Just moves off there, but she's going to show the better pace to lead, Elsie. Yahoo Elsie going on. A couple of lengths clear coming out the second turn ahead of Yahoo Cleo and down into the third bend now. Still that 2.5, 3 length lead. Yahoo Elsie from Yahoo Cleo. As they turn for home now, Blue Jacket of Yahoo Elsie is extending away in the closing stages to go on and score by about 3.5 lengths in the end. Yahoo Elsie beats Yahoo Cleo in a nice performance in trial 16. Result of trial 16 was first trap to Yahoo Elsie. She won in a 24.85, 24.85, and beat Yahoo Cleo by 4.25 lengths. And the sections were 3.93 and 3.96. So that litter, Droopy's Got It, Yahoo Luna. Nicely bred greyhounds and showing nice early dash, very much suited to Romford. 3.93 there for Elsie, and her sister Violet Freyer earlier on to 3.79. So the solo here, Tommy Steamer from Tommy's Cutie down the far side. Tommy Steamer going great guns out in front. This son of iconic Rory, Jan 24 puppy, has raced into a big lead. Tommy Steamer going on and scoring in style. Tommy Steamer beats Tommy's Cutie in trial 17. Trial 17 was first trap to Tommy's Steamer, 24.88, and beat Tommy's Cutie 15 lengths. 4 dead of 4.80 left in the traps was Tommy's Cutie there. Trial 18 is next, Dunbog Stream, an unraced Daughter of Explosive Boy out of Where Am I, November 23 World. And Rathsilla Reggie is a son of Ballymac Cash Out. Got a bit more experience and race experience at Waterford and also Enniscorthy. Racing in sort of S4, S5 company and A6 over the 525 yard trip at Waterford. So the two crowns making their way to the boxes then for trial 18, Dunbog Stream, November 23, Daughter of Explosive Boy out of Where Am I. No marks on a card, but nicely bred nevertheless, and a bit more experience from Rathsilla Reggie in the orange jacket of 5. They are now going in the boxes. And the train showed a bit of pace there on its way to Liverpool Street. Here we go then. Trial 18. The hare runs. Up go the lids and off from racing, and flying out the boxes is Rathsilla Reggie, by far the most experienced into the turn, leads by a couple of lengths from Dunbog Stream, who's trying to make a bit of progress after that slow start. Down the far side, Rathsilla Reggie into the third turn, just changing his legs a little bit between bends 3 and 4, allowing Dunbog Stream to get that little bit closer, but he's seeing that the gallop really well here, and goes on to score by around about 3.5 lengths in the end. And the result of trial 18, first track 5, Racilla Reggie. In a winner's time of 25.71, 25.71. And beating Dumbold Stream by 3.5 lengths. The next trial on the agenda is trial 19. Track 4 is Feeling the Love. This one's got one mark on his card, this Grangeview 10 Oi U penalty Feb 24 pup, a 1902 at Shelbourne, which would equate to around about an S2 time, which is pretty decent for a first look for Feeling the Love at Shelbourne Park. And Got the Chat, who's a daughter of Caldavani Hoffer out of New Inn Peaches. She's an unraced half-sister to the 2020 Irish Greyhound Derby champion New Inn Taylor. So an interesting trial in trial 19. This pair from the Sean Conway range. And they are already at the traps. So trap 4, Feeling the Love, and trap 6, Got the Chat. All locked and loaded. Checked over by the starter, and the hare now is on the move for trial 19 here at Romford today. And away we go, and it's Got the Chat is the first to show into the first turn. Trying to make progress now is the puppy Feeling the Love, and he drops up on the inside now, showing great determination to now hit the front and strike for gold. Going into the third turn, extends into a 2-length lead, showing good pace from the second to the third turn down the back straight, and now has kicked on. Gone on well, this pup. Done it nicely in the end and raced away from the fast starting Got the Chat, who's also run well in defeat in trial 19. The result of trial 19 there was first trap 4, Feeling the Love, who won the trial from off the pace in 24.52 and beat kennelmate Got the Chat by 3.25 lengths. Now the section was 3.97 for Feeling the Love, who did miss his break, but Got the Chat flew out and did a 3.80, which is the second fastest of the day. So nice trial there in trial 19. Now we're going to complete this fourth session with trial 20, Mustang Mania, July 23, daughter of Ballyhemmican Jet out of Mustang KC. And track 5 is Jewel of the Nile, lot 40, She is by Mustang Jet out of Cordery Jewel, a Jan 24 puppy. Mustang Mania running in A6s in Clonmel. And Jewel of the Nile actually posted a 29.59 trial at Clonmel first look, did an A5 time, and then recently did a 16.68 since the catalogue was printed, over a 300-yard sprint time. Did right about an S4 time in Clonmel. There runs. And away we go. I think it was two just narrowly showed up. Mustang Mania, and will just about lead into the turn, but they're side by side now coming out the second bend. And you have to say that 5, Jewel in the Nile, for a youngster, ran the bend really, really well there, showing good pace into the third turn to have around about a length and a half lead. Steering a middle to wide course, Jewel of the Nile. Still with a narrow call up towards the line. 2 getting back on top. Good trial there, Mustang Mania, showing great determination to come and claim the youngster right near the pay stick. And 2 beats 5 in trial 20. Result of trial 20 was first trap 2 Mustang Mania, who won the trial in 24.96, 24.96, and won by 3 parts of a length, beating Jewel of the Nile. The sectionals there were 3.92 and 3.94. Now there will be a final track to break, a bit of a sprinkling as well. Cloudy conditions here now at Romford. It was a bit warm earlier on, but it's trying to cool down a little bit at the moment. And then we'll have our last 5 trials, and the auction will follow after this trial session. tractor break complete. So we move on to trial 21 now, the last 5 in the session of the day. And in trap 2 we have Easy Legend, who is an unraced February 24 prospect from the Barry Rocks team, son of Ballymac Cash Out of Jamira Liberty, who recently posted a sensational 1784, had 15 spots on the go in there, but 1799 still an SSO open race time for just a second trial of his life. So a special prospect on the agenda here, Easy Legend. Rathrona Anna, who's a November 23 son of Pestana. She went on debut in an ON2, ON3 at Tralee. So we are now ready for trial 21 there. At the boxes, we're still doing a bit more watering, so it'll be just a couple of minute delay to this next trial 21. So they're now going in. The starting traps for trial 21. Easy Legend in 2 with that good mark on his card in a sprint trial at Drumbo. Rathrona Anna, who won on debut in a sprint in Tralee. Here makes its way to the boxes. Stand by. And away we go. And Easy Legend has missed the kick in the early stages. And it's Rathrona Anna, her race winner, who has grabbed the lead and the initiative in the early stages and has raced into a 6-length advantage now into the third turn. He's trying to pick up now, Easy Legend. And he is edging closer as they reach the final turn. And it is now 5. Rathrona and Anna being pressed all the while and passed near the line. Easy Legend completely fluffed his lines at the start, but he's shown his class in the end. And he's come through to win it quite nicely. And race clear to the drop. The result of trial 21 was first trap 2 Easy Legend, who won in 24.70, 24.70, and beat Rathbone and Anna by 1 length. Now the sectionals were 4.04, and Rathbone and Anna equalled the fastest of the day, 3.79. Such with alacrity did she lead the boxes and then race into a clear lead, but the class of Easy Legend got her in the end, and it was a nice trial from Barry Rox's fresh team. Well, trial 22 is upon us. They're already at the boxes, and Droopy's Verdict is in box 3. Droopy's BAFTA is in trap 6. Droopy's Flight Line, Noir's Lottie, March 24 for Droopy's Verdict, which is quite interesting. Big fan of Flight Line myself. Droopy's BAFTA is a Malachi pup. And away we go. And in the early stages, Stripes BAFTA is the first to show, but the better early dash into the turn to grab the lead is Droopy's Verdict, who's dropped up on the inside of his kennel mate and raced into a 2-length lead at the halfway stage. Down the far side and entering the third turn now. He's just edging on here, Droopy's Verdict, and got on by 2.5 lengths from Droopy's BAFTA and up towards the line. Just edging away and done it quite nicely in the end. Droopy's Verdict had to work hard to get to the front, but he did it nicely, and he's dashed all the way around to the drop, showing a little bit of greenness there round to the pickup. A result of trial 22, another nice performance from the Droopy's pups there. Droopy's Verdict in trap 3, winning in 24.45 and beating Droopy's BAFTA by 3.5 lengths. And just an aside there, just for the sectional freaks upon you, Droopy's Verdict did a 3.96 and Droopy's BAFTA did a 3.92. Graham's approach to the traps in for trial 23. Trap 2 is Bambus All Star, who's a daughter of Ballymac Cash Out. She had a few races, this one. And She's done sort of an A6, A7 run in Cork. She was second at last time out. Kevin's fourth Homer, son of Malachi. And away we go. In the early stages, it's on the outside. Kevin's fourth Homer, who's going to lead by around about 2 lengths from Romantic Jade, the name change in second. It's around about 4 lengths down at the third turn. Kevin's fourth Homer is the leader and galloping on strongly, edging clear and winning the trial quite convincingly. Kevin's fourth Homer beats Romantic Jade. So just to clarify that, trap 2 there was Reserve I, Romantic Jade, in the blue jacket. And 5, Kevin's fourth Homer, won the trial. 5 beat 2 by 4 3/4 lengths in a 24.48. Pretty reasonable run that. Sexuals, Romantic Jade 404. Kevin's fourth Homer did a 393. Now the next trial is an interesting trial as well. Trial 24, Brisbane in trap 2 is a November 23 son of Lentz and Bocco. And he won it the first time of asking recently in a 29.26. He won an 86 at Waterford, but did an A3 time. So a greyhound that going forward quite quickly. Just had the 2 runs in his brief career so far. And Rapido Roshin is an April 24 daughter of Grangeview 10 out of Chelm's Ramona, who was a sparkling winner around Waterford. She also reached the final of the Munster Oaks as well, the mother. So no marks on Rapido Roshin's card. And the hare runs for trial 24. And away we go to a fairly level break as they reach the first turn of the inside line held by Brisbane, who's just going to lead from Rapido Roshin, who's there on the premises, only 2 lengths down at the halfway stage. She's motoring though into the third bend and comes through the challenge now on the wide outside. Inner, it's Brisbane. Outside, it's Rapido Roshin, who's now gathered her thoughts and she's gone on and done it nicely in the end by 3 lengths, running away from Brisbane and clear to the drop. So the results of trial 24, a very nice trial that, very nice indeed, and a good time to boot. Now Rapid Rushing came from off the back to win the trial, 24.17, 24.17, and she beat the early pace of Brisbane by 2.25 lengths. Doesn't look quite as bad now on face value with that time on the board. Really nice trial for trial 24. And we've got trial 25, the final trial next, and then we'll try and have a bit of a tidy up, give you a bit of a review of the session, and we'll hopefully crack on with the auction really quite soon. So Miami Yates and Solana Jet at the traps then for the final trial. Miami Yates used to be called Highview Yates, was running in A1, A2 Shelburne Park. Pretty decent form on the board. Solana Jet, November 23, son of Balahimican Jet, and ran a 29.64 A5 time at Enniscorthy recently. There runs. And away we go. And bursting from the traps, Miami Yates to grab the lead in the early stages of this race. And Solana Jet can't quite go the gallop of this A2 contender from Shelburne Park down the far side. Miami Yates speeding up into the third turn. Could get a ticket here from Romford Police. He's gone 4 or 5 lengths clear. Miami Yates is going to edge away in the closing stages for a resounding win. Miami Yates does it quite nicely in a low 24 time, and he's kept on all the way round to the pickup. Good performance. So the result of trial 25's first trap 2, Miami Yates, won in a 24.25. Very impressive on the eye. Quickened up nicely down the back straight also, showing good all-round pace. Won by 8 3/4, beating Solana Jet, the recent Enniscorthy trialer. And the sectionals 3.86 for Miami Yates and 4.04 for Solana Jet. Let's give you a quick recap then of some of the eye-catching performances in the second trial. Mustang Rocket for Sean Burke was very eye-catching indeed. He'd got back-to-back victories in Dundalk, and he clocked a 24.24 sectional. Really good second bench split as well. I had him today. Also on the card, Violet Freya in race 8. She had a quick sectional 3.79. She pinged out the boxes and made all in trial 8 and a 24.89, and she's only a baby, an April 24, so there's more to come from her. I thought Droopy's Tiffany showed exceptional pace again for an unraced greyhound, 24.37, and she kept going as well after the line as well. My clocking after the line was very, very good indeed. Good Crafty caught the eye in trial 13, staying on really well after fluffing the start, stumbling at the boxes and going all skew with, but staying on really nicely. And again, a good strong run round to the pickup. Romantic Romeo in 15 showed good all-round pace. I thought he was a pacey puppy, maybe to keep an eye on for the sort of medium market, if you like. Feeling the Love was also an eye catcher. Again, another one that missed the break. We saw him in his video in Shelbourne do a sort of a 1902, I think, and he was an S2 contender, and got the chat in that same trial. Got a very bright start and did a 380 sectional, so a fast starter there. So a very good trial in 19. Easy Legend was another one with the sparkling trial at Drumbow Park. He missed his kick here today at Romford, but he stayed on well, and in the end won the trial. Although 24.70, you can mark it up as a much better performance than that. And again, after the line was pretty good. Droopy's Verdict, again, an unraced puppy from the Droopy's Academy. And that was an eye catcher, showing all round pace, 24.45. And again, kept on after the line, so it will stay further than 400 metres at Romford. The 24th trial was a good one, wasn't it? A sparkling 24.17 from Rapido Roshin. No marks on her card. An April 24 youngster, Grangeview 10. And Brisbane, who we'd seen win at Waterford, showed early pace and just got collared at close home. But again, a solid trial, good performance. And in the very last trial, Miami Yates, who's been running A1, A2 at Shelbourne Park, clocked a 24.25. So all in all, plenty to catch the eye. There's some nice performances in behind for some of the dogs that you think can progress. Some of the 24s, kind of 70 and 80 touches from February, March and April whelps. So lots to look forward to. The auction will start very, very shortly indeed.